I don't have any other answer than like, I love your son a lot, and I see a beautiful, wonderful future with him, and I can see that he's so wonderful because of the place that he came from and the people that matter the most.
I don't know how I feel really about Marissa and Ramses, and also Monica and Stephen. Those couples raise their hairs on the back of my neck because something is off about them and I don't know what it is, and I'm trying to suss out what exactly is wrong about them. And I love Taylor. I love Taylor and I love how she handled the situation with Garett's family. I'm here for that. And I am happy that Alex and Tim are back together and trying to make it work. Anyway, hey there. Thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. If you're new here, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love is Blind, Season 7, Episode 7. Finally, they've uploaded the other 3 episodes. Anyway, so you have all the couples. They're, enjoying their time. You have Hannah with Nick D talking about, what do they need to change where they are at the moment. And it's like, what's happened? The editing is not doing these people justice in the sense that they're just giving chops, bits and pieces. And so some of it is not making sense because she says she needs to stop being sassy. And it's like, what did she say or what did she do that's made Nick feel this way or that's made her feel like she needs to bring this up? Make it make sense. They went for bungee jumping. That was cute. That was cute. Not my cup of tea, but hey, if they want to, go out there and do that, that's them. You have Geek Squad, Gareth and Taylor. They went to, the glass blowing thingy, and they were, the person made them a fish, which apparently is one of Garett's favorite things. So they are cute. They're doing the nice cutesy stuff. That's just them. And they're staying in their own lane, which I like in the sense that they're not trying to do things that they think will make them popular with the fans, but instead they're just living and doing the things that they like as a couple. You have Ashley A and Tyler. Well, Ashley A and Tyler, Christian Mingle. I liked them as a couple, but apparently there's been a lot of stuff that has come out online. As you know, if you've been on my channel for a while, I try not to peddle in gossip or in things that I cannot sort of 100% authenticate. And so I won't be commenting on that. It's left a bad taste in my mouth if it's true. They were talking about, they went camel riding, and then they were talking about, creating sort of traditions for themselves as a couple for Christmas, what they would like to do. They spoke about what they did the year before. And so it's going to be interesting. I can't wait for the reunion because I want to see where they are. I want to see what's happened, especially with all this thing coming up, how Tyler's going to defend himself and how he's going to be, how Ashley maybe is going to feel about that. So I can't wait for that. You have Ramses and Marissa. They go, well, she was in the Navy, so they go on a yacht. It's an amazing yacht. They had an amazing date. For me, they're another couple I really am not feeling them as a couple because I feel she could have done better. I feel she deserved better, and I feel she deserved to be in a couple with Bowden. But anyway, that's her choice. If she loves this man, if he's giving her the best ride of her life, hey, who am I to judge? You then have, you have Monica and Stephen. I think Stephen is getting exhausted. I think he's becoming overwhelmed because Monica is coming across as a bit too demanding, in my opinion, and a bit too controlling, in my opinion, because she wants him to do certain things at a certain pace. She wants him to say things. She wants him to behave in a certain way, according to what she feels is best. And if he goes against that, then they clash. They spoke about the fact that, he promised to get her flowers and he didn't get her the flowers. So she felt some type of way. And it's like, it's not that deep. You're in Mexico. If you had come back to your apartment and he hadn't got that for you, it makes sense. Maybe in Mexico, he's not yet had the time to do that. Or the producers haven't had the chance to sort of find them for him. This is why he's feeling overwhelmed. And it sounds like he's got cold feet. And so he told her that he's getting, he's worried that this is a big commitment. And I think this made her panic because she started, oh, why when you proposed, you should have known that you're 100% all in. You shouldn't be saying this now. You should, and it's like he's allowed to change his mind. He really is. He's allowed to have cold feet. People have cold feet up until they walk up the altar. So you can't knock him for expressing. At least he's told you he's feeling some type of way. He could have kept quiet and waited until wedding day and told you no. So I don't understand. You have Alex and Tim. Alex and Tim, we all know something happened between the two of them. Whatever it is, it was so bad that Tim had decided to leave. And Alex is very remorseful. You can see she's groveling. She knows, maybe she's used to toxic relationships. So being in a relationship where it's very settled and where there's a different way of dealing with conflict is something that's throwing her off, because you could see she was very remorseful. She didn't even know whether they would be able to go on their date. And so she was just sitting there waiting for him to come. And eventually they do go quad bike riding and they went across this hanging bridge. That's not my cup of tea. I would have peed my pants because that's a bit too much, because I don't know if I would have been able to sort of sit there and go over that bridge that was shaky. She liked it. She said, the way he handled it gave her confidence in him and in her, gave her security. They've agreed that he's coming back to the rooms, which is nice. He seems to have got on board and accepted her apology. I hope this doesn't come to haunt them, and I hope they're able to overcome that, because I think they are one of the couples who have a bit more chemistry. If only they can have a conversation, as I said before, and Alex can own up to her insecurities to him, I think he would be more open to understanding why she behaves the way she behaves at times. I was a bit confused because I'd completely forgotten whether they normally have one or two sort of couple mixers in Mexico. And yeah, I remember they've always had two mixers. Anyway, so you have everybody come up with their partners. They're all in a good space. They're all excited. And then you have Ashley and Alex sit down with Monica, I think, and Taylor. And they're having a conversation because you have sort of Alex sort of saying to the girls, well, this man was done with me. He was ready to go. And had he gone, that would have been it for me. There's no way I would have been able to contact him because I don't have his telephone number or anything. And it's like, well, maybe you should have thought about that before you behaved the way you behaved. And still, we don't know what happened. Did somebody lay hands on someone? What happened exactly? Because production, I think, won't allow them to say exactly what happened. So in the middle of this conversation, a fireworks display starts and everybody runs to go and watch. Monica tries to get Stephen, but Stephen is having a conversation with Gareth. So he tells Gareth to continue to talk. They continue to have their conversation. And then after the fireworks display, you can see that Monica is feeling some type of way. So she comes and she sits down with the girls and she's sort of fuming. And so Stephen, noticing this, he brings her a drink and tries to apologize for not being there when the fireworks display was taking place. And you can still tell that she's miffed. She's not with it. She's really upset that why didn't he come? And it's like, but he was speaking to Gareth. Taylor's not making a big deal about it. Why are you making a big deal about it? I feel like Monica, whether intentionally or unintentionally, has banged on this man's head that he's not as educated as the other people in the group, because she's always said that she's always looked at someone's career, someone's qualifications when choosing a partner. And because he has neither. He's got a career, but he doesn't have the qualifications that most of the people she's dated have. I feel like this is why he's always trying to make himself appear very intelligent, because of the way he was talking about his conversations with Gareth. He was saying, Gareth is a very intelligent man, and when he's talking, he goes on and on, sort of like he rambles. So I didn't want to cut him midstream just to come and speak to you. I'm so sorry. And then you could see he was worried. And even the other girls commented that, oh my God, he's afraid of you. And she sort of said, oh, that's the way I want it to be. And it's like, it shouldn't really be like that. It shouldn't really be like that. If you've got standards, look for someone who meets your standards and deal with that. I guess the people who sort of meet your criteria are not putting up with whatever you're dishing. This is why you're now sort of rambling. This little man, he looks so scared. He looks so afraid to even stop and think, which is not a good look in a relationship. Even when they go back to their room, he's sort of packing his bags, and she's saying, oh no, leave that. I want you to come and give me a cuddle so I can go to sleep. And it's like, how insensitive are you? What are you doing for him? Why does he always have to be catering for you and you don't have to do anything for him? I didn't get that. I don't understand that relationship. You have Tyler and Gareth having a conversation, and Tyler sort of saying to Gareth, I appreciate you for moving at my pace and not pushing me to do anything that I wasn't comfortable with, because then that wouldn't have been authentic. It's important that we continue on our own path in an authentic way. That way we can strengthen our bond. And I was like, oh my God, that's sweet. In the morning, you have everybody pack up to leave Mexico and go back to DC. So the couples get back to DC, and watching them sort of settle into their new apartments is interesting because you can see the dynamics of each couple. You have Hannah and Nick D sort of discussing, how they're going to live, how they're going to carry out tasks. Hannah's worried that, she might have to constantly be probing this man to carry out activities like, emptying the bin, helping her with the dog, this, that, and the other. And it's like, these are things you should have discussed in the pods. What the hell were the two of you discussing in the pods? Why is it you are having to discuss maturity now that you've come back from Cabo? Was it because you wanted a holiday, so you're willing to forego certain things, and now that you're back, you're sort of now analyzing that, did I make the right choice by picking this man or not? Hannah and Nick D, for me, I don't know, on wedding day, because there's a lot of egos in that, in the sense that you have Nick D wanting to sort of set standards that he is not able to maintain, and sort of keeps going on and on about certain things that he knows for a fact he'll never be able to attain. So I don't know why. You have Monica with Stephen. That's another ticking time bomb. I think those two use I love you as a way of controlling each other. I don't know whether they truly understand the essence of I love you. I don't get it, because even when they are in their apartment and they're sort of settling in and they're having conversations and how, they're going to be carrying out tasks, things like shopping and stuff. And she keeps going on about flowers and flowers and flowers. And it's like, why do you have to be so passive aggressive with it? If he's going to get you flowers, he's going to get you flowers. You don't need to force this man to get you something. If someone loves you, it won't be a chore. It will be something that they'll do willingly. You should have discussed him getting you flowers. Yes, you discussed it in the pods, but still, you've just got back. You've moved in. Give him a couple of days and see if he doesn't do it. You don't need, because Stephen kept trying to avoid the topic, and she kept pushing on this flower thing. Oh, what about flowers? What about, you go shopping, you do cleaning and flowers. You did this, you do that and flowers. And it's like, please, this is a bit too much. Let's move on. You have Ashley A and Tyler, they are getting ready, they unpack, and then they get into bed, and he has to say a prayer. And sadly for me, since these rumors have come out, I'm constantly side-eyeing him, because to me it seems like we're watching his representative. We're watching the way he wants the world to see him, not the way that he presents himself to those that know him, which is really sad. And I wonder what's going to happen. As I said, I'm waiting for the reunion. You have Alex and Tim. Alex and Tim, you can see that they like each other. They're really working through whatever happened in Mexico, and they're trying to overcome that. And you can see that Alex is now walking on eggshells. She's trying to avoid doing anything or saying anything that will trigger Tim and make him leave. I think she's realized that he's not going to put up with nonsense. As he said before, he is someone who hates confrontation. He is someone who's very easygoing, and he will not put up with certain things. And I think now that she's realized that he actually doesn't put up with certain things, she is scared, and this is why she's constantly walking on eggshells, and she's trying to make sure that she doesn't upset him in any way, which is really sad that a relationship has to go through that, or they have to behave in that way. But hey, what do you do? I like the fact that, they were discussing, will you need me to cook every day, or will we take it in turns? And they said, that's why there's DoorDash. You don't need to cook every single day. And it's like, if you can afford it, hey, if that's what you want to do, hey, who are we to judge you for that? He said he doesn't like to cuddle. He did say so, if I remember in the pods, because he said he's very hot when he sleeps. So I don't know. I really think he's sort of trying to build himself back into liking this girl, because he really liked her, and whatever happened between the two of them has put him off. So he's trying to sort of build that back up. You have Gareth and Taylor. Gareth and Taylor, for me, are moving at a pace that's different to everybody else, because they sit down and they have conversations and they say, let's explore each other's Instagram and see what we posted. And it's like, this is a double-edged sword, in the sense that someone could have cleaned out their Instagram before they went on the show because they knew that people would be looking at it. Or it could be, this is who they are. And as promised, Gareth has got loads of fish on his Instagram, so Taylor's not she's not surprised. I like the fact that he was open to her actually holding his phone and going through his phone, which shows that he really is serious about this thing and he really likes her. They seem to get along very well. They have a great sort of banter and a great way of communication whereby nothing is off limits. So I can't wait for that. You have Ramses and Marissa. They are talking about their wedding and how they're planning on sort of planning that. And you have Marissa talking about wanting all black and he's saying no. And it's like, I don't get them. They haven't really had a conversation that would make me believe that these people are serious outside of hooking up. To me, they seem like a hookup that's going to end at the altar. Or even if they proceed after the altar, they're going to proceed as dating, not as a married couple. They haven't yet said or done anything that convinces me that these people are 100% in it to get married. So we'll have to wait and see. So you have Geek Squad go and be the first to meet the parents. I get the anxiety. I like the fact that they went with presents. So they went with flowers for the mom and alcohol for the dad. You had the mom there, the dad, you had the sister, the niece, and someone who looked like, I think, Garett's brother. And they invited her into their home, but they were also not afraid to tell Taylor how they felt, their anxieties in regards to the experiment and how sort of fast-paced it is. A lot of people have said this. Bliss's dad had a lot of problems with this, I remember, during their season, and people hated the dad for the way he grilled Zach. But at the end of the day, you have to make sure that you are supporting your child, but your child is also making the right decisions for themselves. And so I like the fact that Taylor was not offended by their questions. Instead, she took this as an opportunity to educate them on her relationship and connection with Gareth. And this is the difference between them and other couples, in the sense that she actually explained, we are sort of checking in with each other every day. We are sort of moving at our own pace. We are making sure that we check in. We are making sure we give each other grace, and know that we can at any time change our mind and say, no, this is not it for me. And if we change our mind, this is what will be in both of our best interests, and we shouldn't take it too hard. And you could see Gareth, the way his family were questioning Taylor, you could see that he was sort of anxious because he kept reassuring her, he was hugging her, he was kissing her. And I think he was trying to say to her, don't take it personally. And so she was able to calm the family's nerves and sort of reassure them in regards how she felt about their son, which, oh my God, I felt was amazing. Because she told him, I hope to be a great addition to your family if this goes according to plan. But either way, thank you for inviting me. And I was like, oh my God, Taylor, oh my God, it's like you're in my home and you're here to meet me on behalf of my son. I really like that. And I really like that everybody was respectful, irregardless of how they felt about the experiment. They were respectful. I didn't realize that Taylor's parents apparently were feeling some type of way about the cameras, but apparently they've agreed to come down to meet Gareth first before they actually have the wedding, because they didn't want cameras in their home. And I think that's because they've seen some of the backlash with other couples. So I get why they would say, nah, we would rather not have cameras in our home. But apparently they're coming to DC, and I can't wait to see that meetup. I remember I've always said that I'm very curious as to what Marissa and Ramses were talking about in the pods, because it really didn't make sense how they came to become a couple. Anyway, so you have Marissa come back from college, because we know she's starting to be a lawyer, and you have Ramses busy cooking. He says he went to their apartment, came back, and then he's been cooking since then. So they're having this conversation. They sit down and they start discussing the military, and it's like, I thought Ramses was ex-military. Am I mistaken? I thought he was ex-military. And so for him to critique her like that and make her feel less than on camera doesn't make sense to me. It's not a big deal. He knew she was military when he dated her. He knew she was military when he proposed to her. He knew she was military when he had sex with her. So I don't get why he suddenly feels this way and is suddenly making her feel bad about her service, because he's telling her that you signed up for it, so you are responsible for whatever happens. And it's like, well, there are many reasons. I'm not a military person. I don't remember if there's anybody who's been military in my family. But at the end of the day, there are different reasons why people volunteer to just or sign up to join the military. Yes, some are misguided, but some are things like financial reasons. Some people can't afford to send themselves to school, so they think the military is it. Some people have no family, and so they think if they join the army, that's going to give them a sense of belonging. So the idea that he would judge her like that and make her feel less than, I don't get it. She was with someone who had been in the military. She was with someone who went to war to fight for another country. I don't know why I'm going to say this again. She didn't stay with Bowden because Bowden was the best match for her. This man told her what he felt she needed to hear in order to stay on the show. And now they're on the show. He's now realizing her quirks and her faults. He's starting to sort of get the ick and starting to find reasons as to why they wouldn't be an ideal match. I don't see why this should be a topic to be discussed on camera. This is something they could have discussed off camera. They should have discussed their relationship instead of them discussing the military. This has nothing to do with them as a couple. This has nothing to do with them. It's not like she's going to war or she's signed up and she might go to war. As she said, she was part of the reservist team and she withdrew herself because she couldn't do that. So I don't know why he's making I don't want anyone to feel judged. The two of you are very judgy. It started off by religion, by you planning your wedding and saying you don't want A, B, C, D at your wedding. Now you've moved on to this. What else are you going to clash on? What is it in particular that you liked about each other outside of sex that made you feel you'd be an ideal couple? I don't get it. But anyway, I digress. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 6. Bye guys.